and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. If you are new and you like makeup, beauty, hair or hauls, then please consider subscribing. So for today's video, I'm going to be reviewing this here. This has been out, I think, 2 or 3 weeks now, to be quite honest with you. I did get it not long after it was released, but I've only just got around to testing it out, but there we go. So this is the new Make Face palette from Beauty Bay. So I think Beauty Bay have now released most products that you could do a full face with. They've got loads of eyeshadow palettes which are incredible. Absolutely love the formula of Beauty Bay eyeshadows. They had it wasn't really a foundation, it was like a glow filter situation. Yeah, the usuals, bronzers, blushes, all that stuff. And even bronzing drops as well, but this is kind of like an all-in-one. So it came in 2 shades. I got the lighter one and then there was a darker toned one as well. And this is what we get inside. It reminds me of the, what's it called? Is it Makeup Forever? Where they've got this kind of like face palette thing as well. And then if I show you with the plastic on to start off with, because it shows what each thing is. So we've got like a yellowy one here, like a colour correcting situation, as well as kind of like a peachy orange one. We've got some kind of contours just here, so some cooler tone ones, a really nice looking bronzer here, a setting powder just here as well. And then if we move over to the other side, we have another bronzer here. We've got a highlighter, I believe that's a cream, a couple more bronzers on the side there, and a couple of blushes. This one here is shimmery and this one's more matte. Really nice shades though. So there we go. There's a bit of a close-up with the sleeves off now. I'm going to give them a swatch as well, just to see what they're like. Okay, so here are the swatches. These are actually really nice, really creamy. They were so creamy to swatch. I can't remember when I held this up and explained it. I think I did it all wrong, to be quite honest with you. I couldn't really see what I was doing. But we have these two, I would say, are more like concealers. This one is a lovely contour shade as well. Love this blusher, it is beautiful. Some of the this one in particular will probably look a little bit too orange on me as a bronzer, but that's fine. I actually really like these two. I might mix them, I'm not sure yet. So I'm going to start off, I think, by using a little bit of concealer just on this inner part of my eye just here, just to kind of brighten it up a bit. And I think I'm going to go for the peachy shade. Whoops. So that was this one just here, which is a B1. I'm just going to take my concealer brush and just take the tiniest amount. You can barely see that on there, but there is a tiny amount on there. I don't like loads of concealer. And we're going to, just on the inner part just here, try and kind of neutralise where I've got that kind of, it almost looks a little bit kind of yellowy, so I'm trying to neutralise it with this kind of peachy shade. Okay, so you can see how much lighter that side looks now compared to that side. We have this, come up close, we have this kind of like yellowish coloured hollowing just here, whereas with that peachy shade on the top of that one, it looks a lot more kind of, it blends better with the rest of my skin tone. Obviously I've got foundation on, and then that's both sides now done there. So I'm just going to go over the top of that with a concealer, and for that I am going to use C1, I think, which is this shade just here. So it's not far, I would say, off my own skin tone, this one, maybe slightly lighter, but that's what I want. And I'm going to go over the top of where I've put that other kind of peachier shade. Again, I'm not taking loads of product, I don't want it to crease too much. I'm going to take the sponge that I just used for my foundation, just to kind of blend that edge a bit. Oh, that's nice. And you see how much more uniform that side looks, you know, as in it blends into my foundation nicer compared to this side. Obviously I've got that peachy bit on the inner, but that's not got any concealer over the top. It's really brightening on this side. Oh, I like that a lot. Very nice. Right, so I'm going to take a bit of contour next. I'm not the best at contour, but we're going to have a go. I'm going to go in for this one here because it's quite cool toned, so it'd make like the perfect contour. That one's called Cold Brew. You can kind of see already I have a natural shadow just here, so I'm going to follow that. These are really nice and buildable. They're not too intense. Sometimes, you know, I can go on with cream products and they're like really intense, which makes them quite hard to blend as well. Whereas I will say that these ones aren't like that at all. They're quite balmy. So yeah, really nice to blend. So that's where I've done the contour on that side. As I say, I'm not the best. It's probably my worst thing in makeup to do is contour. But yeah, you can definitely see it's that really nice cool tone, and it has blended really easily. You know, it's my lack of skill that it's not blended that well, but yeah, in a product in itself it has blended easy. But yeah, and we definitely get that kind of like contour just there. I'm going to use a little bit around the top and around the jawline as well. And then, as I say, we're going to go on the jawline as well, slightly. And then what I also like to do is just take a little bit on this part, just here, just to give me kind of like a bit of a lift. Sometimes I do this with bronzer. If I'm using a contour, I do it with contour. So compare the two sides. Not a huge difference, but there is a difference. So then I'm going to do bronzer, and for that I'm going to take, I think I'm going to take Teak, which is this one here. I'm just going to take this. That's a bit dark. Oh bugger. 1 second, I need to go down one. It's not too bad actually. It blends quite nice with the sponge. Let's try going straight in to the product with the sponge, just to do around the top here. Sometimes I do find that with like cream products, they do blend really nice with the sponge. I do sometimes use it for, you know, some blushes as well, cream blushes or liquid blushes. You kind of, yeah, you just get a really nice blend. Yeah, see, that's better around the top there. It blends really nice. Yeah, that's better. Right, let's do the other side with just the sponge. Yeah, see, that side looks better. This side, it's not bad. Now I've used the sponge over the top, but I think where I went on with the brush to start off with, it's gone on a bit heavy. Whereas this side looks a lot more blended. Yeah, I think I prefer this with the sponge. Right, blush, my favourite part. I'm going to go in with a Mochi, which is this gorgeous kind of really nice peachy, pinky shade, and it's really pigmented as well, which is what I like in a blush. Yeah, that's nice, really nice. That's my kind of blush for this time of year. I tend to go for more of a pink in the winter or autumn winter, and then when it gets a bit warmer I like to switch up to kind of peachier shades. That's a really nice colour. Just taking my sponge again just to blend. Yeah, I like that a lot. Oh, my nose is so itchy today. Yeah, that's really nice. I love that blush. Beautiful. Right, shall I? Yeah, I'm gonna try a little bit of that peony shade, which is the blush, but it's got like a bit of a shimmer. So I'm gonna try a tiny bit of that as a topper. kind of going to concentrate more on the centre of where I've put that other blush. I don't think I took enough. Let's try a bit more. Yeah, that's nice. I wouldn't say it's like really shimmery, this one, not like highlighter shimmery. Which, you know, if you like a kind of a slightly lighter shade than this one, which is what that is, then this will be absolutely fine. And as I say, if you don't like a kind of a shimmery blush, this one I would say isn't mega shimmery at all, or at least it's not coming off like that. Yeah, see, I don't really get a lot of shimmer from it. Might be a different case if I was to use my finger. I think I'm going to try that actually with the highlighter. So it's Halo, so it's the only highlighter in here. So I'm going to take this one on my finger. Oh, look at that, it looks really pretty on my finger. And just use it at the top, just here. It's really nice. It's kind of like, I wouldn't normally go for this shade of highlighter, to be quite honest with you. It's a bit more kind of gold than I would normally go for. I like the pinkier ones. But it doesn't give a cast. It blends nicely. It's not like really intense or anything, I wouldn't say either. It's kind of like one of those wet looking highlighters. Quite natural. Yeah, I'm going to take a tiny bit of the setting powder. I don't normally use setting powders at all, but I'm going to take a little bit just so we can try it. I'm going to dip in a little bit and then tap some onto my arm. I'm just going to correct the creasing under my eyes a bit. And we'll use that just to kind of set a little bit on my under eye. Yeah, which is quite nice actually. It doesn't look too textured or anything, which to be honest with you is something that I suffer with any powder at all, and that's why I tend not to use them, because they emphasize any kind of fine lines for me more than anything. But I do quite like to use a powder in certain areas. A little bit of texture I would say on this side, just around there. But not on this side, but I do have some kind of a dryness on my under eyes at the moment. They're quite nice sized pans as well, so you know, if you're dipping in like with a bigger puff like this, then yeah, you don't kind of catch the other ones. That is really nice. It is a nice powder. It doesn't look too drying on me, which is another thing I normally suffer with when using powders, and it doesn't look like that at all. It's yeah, it's really nice. Oh, it looks lovely on my nose. Look at that. It's really smoothed out, like any pores or anything. Just take a little bit there, and then where you can see it's all shiny here, just gonna go in the middle there as well. It looks nice. It does look nice. I do like that, especially for a pressed powder as well. If I do go for a powder, I tend to use the loose ones. But yeah, for a pressed powder, it's nice. I do like it. So all complete now. All I've done is put some setting spray and some lipstick on. That's the only difference. I do like it actually. I think it's a nice palette. The only thing I will say is I kind of wish, I get what they've done with the blushes, you know, having a more matte one and then the one with the shimmer on, although I didn't really get the shimmer from that one. I kind of wish that they'd have done the peachy one and then more of a pinky one in there, like two different kind of shades of blush. Yeah, and I know we've got this one here, which is more of a kind of colour correcting concealer. That's my cat. But you could, I suppose, use that as a paler blush on paler skin tones, because it is still quite peachy. But yeah, that's the only thing I will say. I kind of wish there was more of a pink in there as well. And the same for the highlighter. They've got quite a few different shades of bronzer in there, which is fine, but I kind of wish that there'd been maybe a different shade of highlighter as well. Because if you're someone that doesn't really go for golds, then you're kind of stuck with that really. Whereas, yeah, even if there was more of a champagne in there, because this is kind of like quite a darkish gold, I would say. I mean, it is a little bit iridescent, but you know, I wouldn't call it a champagne or anything. It is a proper gold. Yeah, or like even an icier one. Yeah, because that kind of goes with most skin tones. But yeah, there we go. But as a product in itself, I love the contour shade. I think it's really nice. And yeah, I like the variation of bronzers. I just wish that there was kind of like, you know, more blushes, more highlighters. So as always, I will link the product in the description box below for you, along with any discount codes if I can find any as well. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed watching, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up, and I'd really appreciate it. It'd mean the absolute world to me. If you did enjoy watching this video and you would like to see more content from me in the future, and you would like to subscribe to my channel. Until then, thanks for watching. Bye!